Holy shnikes. Hey. Wow. Alright, this is the tricky part. This is when we're going to spray the brown paint in all of the cracks to bring out the carving detail. And it also darkens the white color just a little bit, gives it a nice sort of effect and look. Before you get started, you want to get a bunch of paper towels, fold them up, and some paint thinner. So what I do is I spray it on in one small area, like from here to there, and then I'll have my paper towel dipped in the paint thinner, and then I'll come back and wipe it off. But you don't want to wipe too vigorously or too much, because then you will rub the paint underneath off, and then you'll expose the primer. It kind of has to be done quick because this stuff dries fast. This is probably the trickiest part of this whole build. So let's see how we can do. Okay, see how nice it brings out all the carving detail. And just remember, try to work fast. Don't spend too much time in one spot. Okay, and it is inevitable, you will rub through unless you put like a whole bunch of coats of the white paint on prior to doing this step. See how I rubbed through just a little bit to the primer? You can go back and fix that, basically taking some of the spray paint and a paintbrush, just touching it up later. Alright, now that the painting is done, I'm going to put the handle on. And this is where that 1/4 inch rope comes into play. You can see these lines I've got marked out. That just kind of gives me a guide as to how I'm going to be placing the rope. I'm going to start here, cut a piece so that it goes all the way around, and then slowly turn it to where it will meet up with this part right here and not be angled out. Get to this point, this is when you can start continuously wrapping it around. See how these two pieces are almost meeting? So what I'm going to do is start to actually go around and continuously wrap the handle all the way down until I meet there, gluing as I go. Okay, that's all done wrapping, and I am just going to cut this off at kind of a taper so that it will kind of sort of fade into the rest of it, and it'll end about there on the back side. Alright, this next section, I'm going to start about here and then overlap these other pieces just a tiny bit so that it'll transition nicely. Okay, and once again I'm going to just cut it off back here and let it fall about there. I am going to fill some of these gaps up at the front. See how there's gaps? Get like one strand of this and fill some of those in. Alright, handle is completely done. Carving and paint is completely done. Now to do the glow-in-the-dark paint. I forgot to mention this earlier, but you're going to need one of these. It's like a cattle syringe. I got this at my local feed store as like $1.50. This is the perfect applicator for the glow-in-the-dark paint. And the way I use these is you'll want to snip this end off, and then I take a piece of sandpaper and just round off and smooth over all the edges. Once you get that nice and dulled, see, it's not sharp anymore. Take your glow-in-the-dark paint. This is actually a little bit different brand that I used for the first hook. And just put your needle down in there, pull the plunger back. Oops. And just suck the paint up in it. See, all that paint's in there now. I like to shake it, make all the paint go to the bottom. Alright, now it's just a matter of squirting the glow-in-the-dark paint into all the little cracks or the carving relief areas. That's a lot easier than brushing. Also, this stuff goes on white and then dries clear, so it won't look like this when it's dry.